Welcome, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're running a few minutes late, so I have only just a very few brief comments. Just first to say, my name is Linda Wagner. I'm the director of the MHCID program, and I am so pleased to welcome you all to the very first capstone presentations for the program. Yay! Many of you sort of already heard this in James' introduction of Johnny Lee, which was a fantastic talk. Hopefully most of you were able to see that. But just to repeat for anybody who wasn't here, in brief, MHCID is a new year-long master degree program in human-computer interaction and design. It's interdisciplinary, and we have benefited from and enjoyed the support of computer science and engineering, human-centered design and engineering, the School of Art, History and Design, Division of Design, and the iSchool, as well as the Graduate School and Professional and Continuing Education. And many thanks go out to all of the people in all of those departments that have been instrumental in us getting through this year successfully. So big thanks to all of you. This program has been several years in the planning, but today you will see the first cohort presenting their capstone projects, which are 3-month-long projects where they've had an opportunity to apply all of their learnings throughout the year. And in line with what Johnny presented earlier, they've worked very hard to conceive, choose, create, and today you will get to see them communicate. So I also need to make a point of shouting out a thanks to our sponsors. We had the benefit of several company and industry sponsors who got engaged enthusiastically without there being much explanation of what they were doing. So they took this journey with us. So just very quickly, I want to thank HTC Creative Labs, Intel, several teams from Microsoft, Microsoft Research, the Skype team, and the Internet of Things team, NITEC Incorporated, Point B Consulting, and Teague. All of you contributed time and energy, and the students tremendously benefited from your engagement, your enthusiasm, your wisdom, and your reality checks. So thank you very much for that. We will dive right in. Today is about the students and their presentations. So we're starting a little bit late, but just the order of the day is that we have 6 teams presenting. Each team will present for about 10 minutes. There will be 5 minutes of Q&A, and we'll have a brief moment of transitioning because we only have so many mics, so bear with us during that. We'll take a 5-minute bio break after the 3rd presentation and then come back in and finish up the last 3. And then you're welcome to continue and join the teams out in the lobby with more poster session, mingling, discussion, and refreshments. So with that, I'm very happy to introduce the first team and their project called Skylark.
Welcome. We're excited to have you here today as we present our capstone project for the Master of Human, Computer, and Interaction and Design program. We are going to be sharing with you our project, Untethered, Freedom from the Gate, a reimagining of the airport and passenger experience. You may have seen a brief introduction of an airport and some imagery. Consider what you saw, the images, the feelings, the emotions, frustration, anxiety, confusion, and stress. These are often the feelings associated with airport experiences. A primary reason for this is that people are tethered to their gate. 1, the gate is a physical milestone. If you don't get there, you don't get to your plane. You don't take your trip. So getting there is a primary important milestone for anywhere you go. 2, it's a source of flight information and flight statuses. From there, you can gather information such as when people are leaving the gate. So it's seen and unseen information which you can gather specifically from the gate. And 3rd, it's a place of service. If you have a problem, which often you do, it is required that you go to, not required, the easiest the easiest place to gather and resolve the problem is at the information at the gate area. Passengers prioritize moving directly to the gate above all other needs. We strongly believe that this is not the experience that passengers want delivered.
Hi. So we asked ourselves, how can we empower passengers to physically and mentally untether from the gate? We talked to a lot of people about their airport travel experiences. We ran observations and we conducted a diary study, and we even recreated an airport environment here on the University of Washington campus. And we asked our participants to play a little game where they had to complete as many tasks as they could prior to actually getting to their gates on time. And these activities really helped us to understand passengers' behaviors and needs that are related to the gate. But most importantly, these learnings helped us to develop 4 key principles that we believe are key to successful deployment of the system. So the first of these is empowering. Help passengers feel more in control by helping them make decisions. Empower them to step away from the gate and relax where they want to by delivering information and services that they typically rely on the gate for. Inspires confidence. No matter how well designed a product is, behavior change won't happen unless passengers trust the information. Catching the flight is the end goal. It's important to maintain and develop confidence in the system so that passengers feel comfortable making decisions to meet their needs without sacrificing the ability to get to their gates on time. Contextual. The airport is a dynamic and often chaotic environment, and the most important decisions that passengers need to make are related to movement through the space. Focus on presenting only the most relevant information required to make a decision, taking into account the passenger's location, the environment, and the situation. And finally, personalized. People are complex, and they approach and react to time in different ways. So take these differences into account when you're presenting time-related information. Designed for the nervous traveler who needs to track every minute, as well as for the escapist who only wants to know when his plane starts boarding.
So after an iterative process of brainstorming, designing, prototyping, testing, and refining, we have come up with a concept. Allow me to present to you Skylark. So this is how Skylark works. It gathers data from different information sources, such as flight updates from the airline system, and gate activities, indoor maps, directories from airport systems. It also gathers physical location of data of the passengers using Bluetooth beacon technology in the environment. We have designed Skylark to communicate with a smartphone application. because smartphones are ubiquitous, and we can quickly prototype smartphone applications and evaluate our design. However, we see that this future of Skylark goes beyond the smartphone platform. We see the potential of this being deployed to multiple platforms, such as the wearables, the smartwatches, and the responsive in-the-environment display. All these platforms have unique properties that complement well with the Skylark system to deliver that contextual, real-time information to the passengers. So now let me walk you through our design. First, Skylark empowers the passengers with the ability to chat with the gate agents directly, to request and confirm seat changes, seat upgrades, standbys, from anywhere in the airport. Secondly, it supports personalized approach to time by displaying data in a different way. Here you see in the main screen, you have the remaining time to boarding, prominent there on display. You also have the walking time from where you are to the gate, to your destination gate. And then also you have the flight status and then where you are in your airport journey. It also inspires confidence because the data in the system come directly from the official sources such as airlines and airports. And lastly, it is contextual. It only delivers relevant information to the passengers when they need it and where they need it. It also is locationally aware of the passengers, where the passengers are, and able to recommend and suggest the places they can go to within 5-minute walk of the current location. We are confident that the resulting experience of the design is one that is free, the freedom from the gate. The passenger should be able to confidently choose how and where they want to spend their time in the airport. And rest easy knowing that they always know what's happening at the gate without having to be there.
As we are all passengers, we all recognize the benefit of untethering ourselves to the gate. And this concept can hardly be realized without the support of airport and airline businesses. But why do they care? Let's talk about airport first. Current profit model of airport are making airports focusing more on non-aviation revenue. And the largest part of that is actually airport retails, eateries, and services. Delighted passengers spend 45% more than disappointing passengers on airport retail purchases. So by providing freedom back to the passengers, not only increase the airport's non-aeronautical revenue, but also increase airport's capacity, which means bringing more travelers to the airport. What about airlines? The current competition of airline is really fierce. Less than $6. That is what they're making on every single passenger right now. So in order to stand out from their competitors, not only improving current customer experience, they also would like to have a better crowd control around the gate area, which leads to a less stressful airline staff and less cost on staff budget. So we all recognize the potential of delivering a better airport experience through Skylark.
If this concept were to move beyond a student project, partnership with an airline will be a good first step. We believe that Skylark has the potential to physically and mentally untether passengers from the gate, resulting in a more pleasant, stress-free airport experience. Thank you. And my name is Shia. This is Alex, Irene, Chase, and Michael. We would love to thank all the people who have helped us in the past few months, our classmates, our instructors, and most importantly, our sponsor from T, Cameron Campbell. We love you. So from here, we welcome any questions.
So the question is, does our app account for baggage space?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So we had thought about that, and if you need to be at the gate early to get on the plane, you can do so. So you can arrange for that. So we don't necessarily take into account how much baggage space is on a plane. That would be nice to integrate, but yeah, we currently don't offer that. But you would be able to perhaps communicate directly with a gate agent if you have a bigger bag, say you're returning or traveling from a long distance trip. You know, you might be able to do so that way. But yes.
To add to what Michael said, that's actually a really interesting question and something that we kind of puzzle over for a while. And one of the things is like, really, you only really need to get to the gate when your group is boarding. And so that's one of the things that we wanted to design into the system. Now, whether we can actually make that a reality is sort of up in the air. You know, they don't know how long it's going to take for the group before yours to finish boarding before you can start boarding. But if we can actually get that information from the gate, if there's some way for them sort of like queue a system or update a system that can then send out that message to you, or if you can maybe find out when the group before you is boarding, and then sort of know that you need to get to your gate at that time, I think that might help out. And so you don't have to be at the gate waiting, but you do get to the gate in time that you can board when you're supposed to board.
Yeah, it just seems like it's always a mad rush of people to
Right.
Yeah.
people try to get the first position in line.
Yeah, that's actually a huge value proposition to the airport. And even from our research, it shows that the European airports actually make lots more money than the American airports, because the American airports are a lot more stressful than the European airports. So they actually make a lot of money from the shops and the non-aviation revenues. And this is a huge value proposition for them.
And in addition to what you said, there's sort of, you know, I think they're redesigning airports as well so that the gates are closer to the shops and
Right.
the restaurants and the places that you might hang out. But in airports where they haven't been redesigned, this could really help to increase flow near those shops.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting thought, because like you said, if everybody has Skylark and nobody needs to get there on time, and everybody gets there at the very last minute, then creates a crowd. I think that's a really good point. And we haven't thought about it. I think that has to do a lot with the queuing, right? How do you manage the queues at the gate? And this is designed to deter people from having to rush there. But how do you deal with when everybody is so relaxed and they get there last minute? That's something we have to consider more.
Well, one thought on that, it might be interesting if efficiency was so great, then they could actually have higher capacity for airplanes and flights, and actually airports might make more money off of it as well as airplanes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the question was, what was it about our formative research that we did that led us to believe that it was access to information that was causing this sort of behavior of tethering to the gate? I think a lot of it was around, we just realized that people are going to the gate for a couple of different reasons, and we spoke about this a little bit in our presentation, but they don't have access to that information away from the gate. And there's also this idea of how much you actually trust the information when you're away. We saw a couple of participants in some of the studies some of the experiments that we did, and they really, really wanted to go straight to the gate. They didn't really trust sort of what was on the board. Oftentimes they wanted to go to the gate, and oftentimes they even wanted to ask the gate agent who was standing there for confirmation of the right information. Is this my gate? Is it going to the right place, and what time is it leaving? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.